Hi, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Sean Lam. I'm from Jewel Payment Tech, a Singaporean payments risk technology company. We have developed OneSentry, an automated risk management platform for banks to manage e-commerce merchant risk using predictive analytics. Today, our pilot customers include 2 out of the 5 largest banks in Southeast Asia. Before I begin, let me first give you a little background on the e-commerce merchant acquiring business. If you're a merchant, you want to accept payments online, you go to a bank. Or you go to a third-party payment facilitator such as PayPal, Stripe, or even marketplaces who aren't connected to the bank. With the explosion of e-commerce and the tens of thousands of new merchants coming on board, banks are having a very difficult time maintaining the same level of checks as they traditionally would have with brick-and-mortar merchants. How do you tell who is real? And here's the untold story about e-commerce. The fact of the matter is, in the e-commerce merchant acquiring business, the profits are paper thin. The profit margins are certainly less than 1%. Now, to add to the problem, that the banks now have to deal with problematic merchants such as those selling illegal goods and services online. These activities will attract fines anywhere between $25,000 to $100,000 by the payment networks. We have even seen banks subjected to fines over $1 million. This represents both a financial and reputational risk that ultimately affects the bank's P&L. In addition to that, regulators in the region are now putting the onus on banks to ensure that they know what their merchants are doing online. What is the need? There is an absolute need for an effective means to minimize risk in order to stop the profit leakage. We have developed OneSentry to proactively identify illegal activities ahead of fines and complaints by payment networks, by IP owners, law enforcement, as well as the regulators. What we've done, we've achieved this through using machine learning, image analytics, natural language processing, as well as social media sentiment analysis. All a bank's risk analyst has to do is to enter a URL. In 60 seconds, our system generates a preliminary risk assessment report highlighting potential red flags for new onboarded merchants. In about 5 minutes, we actually provide a richer report. And then our system continues to monitor your merchant's behavior, highlighting any new risks that may happen. This helps banks onboard merchants faster, as well as to worry less. Let me tell you why our clients are so excited about us. In Asia Pacific, traditionally, banks rely on tools that are both retroactive as well as very manually intensive. Our distinct value proposition with OneSentry is that our solution is both automated and predictive. What is the opportunity here? E-commerce in Asia Pacific alone, $500 billion in transaction volume, and growing very rapidly at 20% year-on-year growth. There are over 1,500 banks in Asia Pacific with over 300 payment facilitators, each of whom are trying to get a slice of the action. And we are here to help them minimize that risk and to grow their profits. Today, OneSentry is being used to safeguard 3 banks in the region, 2 of whom are the largest banks in Southeast Asia. OneSentry is also used to optimize risk for more than 25,000 internet stores. In our pipeline, we have 4 additional banks, as well as 1 new payment facilitator. Who's behind Jewel Payment Tech? Myself, Sean. I spent several years at Visa managing fraud and data security risk. Wei Xiang, he was formerly the Asia Pacific Head of Credit Risk for Visa. Prior to that, he was actually a banking supervisor at MAS Singapore. Sandra, an investment banker that spent many years in Hong Kong covering the Asian markets. And on our board of advisors now, we have Mr. Voon, who spent 27 years at IBM holding various senior regional positions. Ladies and gentlemen, e-commerce started off with payment cards, your credit and debit cards. Then we started seeing the payment intermediaries, your PayPals, your Stripes, your marketplace coming into the market. E-commerce will continue to evolve. E-commerce payments will continue to evolve, such as some of the technologies that we're seeing here at Innotribe. But what will remain the same, however, is the merchant KYC, the need for merchant KYC. Today, we're already seeing customers opening up individual banking accounts for the sole purpose of trade and commerce online. Blog shops, Facebook stores, Instagram pages, all transacted using direct fund transfer and P2P apps. These are your growing merchant base. Are you aware of the activities online? Have you done merchant KYC on them? Well, you need to, and OneCentry will help you too. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're a bank, a payment facilitator, or a payment network that's interested in predicting future merchant risk that may cost you millions of dollars in losses, please do speak to us. My name is Sean Lam. I'm from Jewel Payment Tech. Thank you very much.